Good day, YouTube. Today we're going to take a bit of a comparison video amongst the one on the left, Linux Lite version 5.8, latest release, and Endeavour OS, version of which, less important, it is a rolling release. Now, getting into it, starting off, I will let you know that Linux Lite is actually a point release, so it is based off Ubuntu, the long-term service release, so updates for a very, very long time. And Arc just keeps going on and on. So as long as you've got, based on Arc, Endeavour OSs, so that means it just keeps going on and on and on. As long as you've got an internet connection, you'll get those updates as you need them. Now, the desktop environment for both, the default desktop environment is the XFCE desktop environment, but they are both customized a little bit differently. So on the left-hand side, the Linux Lite, you can see that it's sort of the iconography or just the way that it looks is a bit more smoother and pleasing to the eyes than most XFCE desktop environments here. So on the right hand side, a little bit more stock. It does have a dock down the bottom, a little docky just to pop your favorite apps in. So a bit of that there. If we go to the file managers, we will see what is expected to be the Thunar file manager. So nothing to write home too much about there. I like the coloring scheme for Linux Lite much more than on Endeavour OS, but hey, it is what it is. And after that, so yeah, don't worry about the version in there, much of a muchness. And let's move across to, say, the actually, let's load this up again. The kernel. So 5.4 kernel for Linux Lite, a little bit older because it is running on a long-term service release for Ubuntu, so therefore a little bit more stable technically. And then on the right-hand side, we've got the 5.15 or 5.15 technically they call it, kernel, which means it's got later updates for more modern hardware. So always factor that into what you might be looking to use here. If we move across to the RAM and CPU usage, so the CPU is looking fine on both. Now the RAM is tells a different story. So you are actually running on 600 megabytes of RAM on boot up for Linux Lite, so not so light, I'd have to say. And on the right hand side, Endeavour OS, about 430 megabytes of RAM. So this is pretty interesting considering it is a newer kernel, perhaps a little bit more optimized. Having said that, the XFCE desktop environment is a little bit more stock in nature, so it's just a little bit more simplified. For instance, you don't get the search terminal option, so I can type in Firefox here and I find Firewall instead. No, there we go, web browser. Whereas you don't really have that here. I guess you've got the application finder, but it's not exactly the same thing. So thanks for watching, guys. Please leave a comment, subscribe, hit that like button, and I do hope to see all of you guys there in the next one.